Please be seated as I invite Collin to say a few words.
Hello, everyone. For those of you who do not know me, I am Collin. I am the second born son of the deceased Anu. First off, I just want to thank everyone for coming. I know she'll be very happy, and I know she's looking down at all of us right now. She's probably overwhelmed and appreciating every single one of you. First off, I want to start off with some thanks to all of the nuns, the Sistemar, and all of the Achinmar here today, and all of those who cannot make it. Thank you so much for praying for her. I promise she prayed for you all as much as you prayed for her. To all of the nurses and the doctors who took care of her and overlooked her treatment, thank you so much for taking care of a complete stranger who you came to know as a sister. To all of our close relatives on mom's side and dad's side, thank you so much for being such a big help and praying so much during my mom's life and even after. To all of the people at La Salette, I want to let you all know that every time that you visited her, her face always lit up. She was always overjoyed to see you all and was so happy to be even in anyone's presence. Thank you for making her final birthday memorable. She was so surprised and so happy to spend it with her friends and family. Thank you for convincing us to go on that cruise. You all made it the most special few days, and my mom especially enjoyed it and did not stop talking about it. Thank you to everyone at St. Bernard's Church for praying and thinking of her and letting her funeral happen at this beautiful church. Thank you to everyone around the world who prayed for my mom and kept her in your prayers. Finally, I want to again thank everyone here present today and everyone present online. You're all watching around the world, and that goes to show how big of an impact she left. Now, she was known by many names. Most of us called her Anu, Manju, Auntie, More, Amma. No matter what you called her, she was one of the most sweetest people you could ever meet. She fulfilled her role as an aunt, a sister, a friend, a daughter, and a mother with 1,000% effort. Everyone sitting here today is proof that she had a huge impact. And we all call her in different ways and call her different names. But we all gathered together to remember her as one. Anu battled cancer for over 4 years. Throughout those years, she went through different treatments, which did numbers on her physically. But she always made sure to stay positive and made sure that her family and friends were okay. Even while she was suffering through that pain, her first priority was her family and loved ones. I know that everyone, including myself, as soon as we heard that diagnosis in 2019, none of us expected it to end like this. That's what Anu was well known for, her selflessness and kind mindset. My mother taught me and my family many things during her lifetime, some lessons we'll never forget. But today, I want to talk about 4 of those things that stuck with me and my family the most. She always taught us to love everyone unconditionally, no matter what. She told us that even if you dislike someone, never hate them and to always be kind to them, no matter what. She always cared for every single person she encountered. You could ask her the birthday, anniversary, or any important date of anyone, and she'd say it in an instant. She took the time to learn a lot about someone and made sure to talk to them when she saw them. She just wanted to say hi, no matter what. She would always make sure you are doing all right, and if you ever needed a shoulder to cry on, she would say she had too. My father was telling me that if it was somehow different, and the person who had cancer was me, my brother, or my father, or even any one of you here, she would not sleep a wink and would spend every second she could taking care of us, and would somehow find a way to take care of us, even better than we did. A mother's love is unconditional, and she made sure to show that unconditional love to everyone, her family and her friends. She always taught us to forgive people. Whenever my mother got mad at me, my brother, or my dad, she would never hold a grudge. She'd be annoyed for a few hours, but then she'd always make sure to end the day with forgiveness and happiness. She always had good relations with everyone, and her compassion was endless. Jesus taught us that if someone has done you wrong, forgive them not only 7 times, but 77 times. Somehow, my mom, she would find a way to forgive them 700 times, and then some. She was too loving to not forgive someone, and that's something so special and rare, especially in today's world. She taught us that nothing is possible without God. My mom was one of the most faithful people you would have met. She was truly a devoted Christian whose faith never wavered. She was the one who taught me and my brother how to pray as kids. And even now, when she had cancer, she taught us to pray even more. My mom, she would pray for every person she'd meet. And if you asked her to pray for you, she would say the rosary 3 times. And on top of that, she would tell every priest she knew and every nun, every prayer group, every holy person she knew to pray for you. When she first got cancer, she would pray like a lot. I told her that since she is praying that much, God would for sure heal her. She heard that, and she told me that she's not just praying for her to get cured. She told me that most importantly, she is thinking of her friends and loved ones, and is praying mainly that none of us get cancer just like she did. And she never wanted anyone to go through what she went through. Even though she was suffering, and she thought of others and prayed that nobody would have to go through the pain she was going through. My mom was so close to God, in fact, that even in her most vulnerable moments, she was praying. A few months ago, my family and I woke up to my mom distressed and frantically saying the Hail Mary. We knew something was wrong, and we called 911. She did not respond to anybody, not even the paramedics or us, but she never stopped praying until she lost her voice at the hospital. Then, a few weeks ago, it became a struggle for her to talk. She was losing her memory and was saying things that did not make sense. However, one thing that did not change was her prayers. Every night she would pray without even knowing and kept on praying even in her sleep. The whole house could hear her praying. Finally, a couple weeks ago, she lost the ability to talk. She could muster out a few words, but she could never hold a sentence. However, if you paid close attention to her, you could notice her silently whispering prayers. That's how close to God my mother was. She knew him so well that she kept on talking to him, even while unconscious and asleep. I bet now she's happy, since she is even closer to God now that she's in heaven. She taught us to always smile, no matter what. I remember one day, back in our old place in Woonsocket, we had some guests coming over, and as they were walking up the stairs, my mom looked at them and smiled, and she giggled, and waved and giggled. I noticed this, and I realized she does this to everyone. And when I asked her why, she says that every time she sees a family, a friend, or a loved one, she cannot help but smile. And she told me that she wants me to do that too, because smiling is something that will make someone feel welcome, and you can tell a person that you want to talk to them and acknowledge them. There's a quote by a poet, Maya Angelou. People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. To make someone feel is one of the biggest impacts a person can make in their lifetime. To make them feel happy, important, appreciated, like they matter, that they belong, was what I think was one of my mom's most greatest accomplishments and qualities in her life. She made everyone feel these things and many more feelings through that smile she always smiled. A heartwarming smile, a welcoming smile, a kind smile, a caring smile, and a loving smile. She was born March 4th, 1978, and she spent her time in India learning, teaching, and caring for every single person she met. She moved here to America in 2011 with her family. Since then, she has met many more people, like everyone at La Salette, and she loved everyone who she considered family. She met everyone for the first time with a smile. She greeted everyone with a smile. She said goodbye to everyone with a smile, and she died with a smile. When people think of Anu, they think of her smiling at them and happy. When my mom died last Sunday, her body was transported to the funeral home. Everyone who had come to see her left, and it was just a few people in the house. I went upstairs and I laid down on a bed. You see, during the time that my mom had cancer, I believed so hard. I had so much hope that she would get better. It was only when the hospice nurse came and declared her dead that the realization hit me. She was gone, and I was never going to see her again. I was shocked and in denial, and in a short amount of time, that denial turned into anger. I was angry because of how much faith I had. The whole morning, I did nothing but cry, and I was angry the whole time. It was when she was taken to the funeral home that I went to lie down. Even with only around 2 hours of sleep, I was wide awake. My mind was racing with questions, and I was so angry. Why did she have to go? Why do I have to lose my mom? Why did my father have to lose the love of his life? Why can't they grow old together? It wasn't fair for her either. She would not be able to see me and my brother turn into adults. She won't see us graduate, and she won't see us go to college or get our first job. She won't be able to see our future, and we were robbed of hers. I was so angry that I stopped praying, and I decided that I won't ever pray again because it didn't work. I prayed for years that my mom's pain will end and we can go back to being a normal family. I was questioning why the all-powerful God who can do the impossible could not save my mom. Then I decided to close my eyes. When I closed my eyes, my thoughts swayed to my mother. When I thought of her, for some reason, I could not think of her with cancer. I did not think of her with short hair, tired eyes, swelled arms, swelled legs. The image I saw of my mother was her with long, beautiful black hair, glistening eyes, and she was wearing a gold and white outfit. And she was smiling back at me. She was smiling that warm, welcoming smile. After I opened my eyes again, I started crying. I realized that God had done my mom a favor. Instead of curing her and letting her stay on earth, He took her to heaven to spend eternity in happiness and peace. My mother went through temporary suffering on earth so that she can take her place in heaven to spend forever with joy. Today we see the mysterious grace of God with Anu. He loved her so much that He had to take her early on. I want to think of it as sort of a reward for her, that she went through that much pain and suffering, but now she received endless peace. Every time I think of her, even now, I can only see her smiling. That's how I know she is okay, and that's how I want everyone to remember my mom. A strong, powerful woman who smiled and laughed, that beautiful contagious smile, through suffering, through pain, through cancer, and through life. I bet she is looking down at us all right now, smiling. My mother made an impact on everyone she met during her lifetime, and that impact began with the smile, and it ended with a smile. Mom, I really hope that you are happy in heaven. Please keep on watching over all of us, and help us to be as generous and strong just like you were. I just know that you are in heaven, spreading that same joy to the angels through your smile. Today, heaven gained someone who would add to the light of God with her laughter and bring happiness to people around her in heaven, just like she did to all of us on earth. I am so proud to have been able to call this wonderful woman my own mother. I do not know how my family and I got this lucky to deserve a woman like her. Once again, I want to thank everyone for coming. My family and I cannot tell you enough how much we appreciate each and every single one of you from the bottom of our hearts. May she rest in peace, knowing that a piece of her will always live on every time her loved ones smile. Thank you.